Oh, it's lit. We prime time. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us your feedback. Yo, I'm Manny at the plate and Kobe off a steal. Gretzky for the goal and Brady at the wheel. I'm a game changer, the Osaka of the tennis, and breaking scoreboards. Simone of the Olympics, defense and big business. The Mayweather who way better. From the greatness of Jim Brown, I've been down. Talking sports before I was off the porch. Screaming Bo knows while Jordan was playing horse. Late 80s getting torched by the drive and the shot. 2016 got a ring off the three in the block. They eased to forgot the cardiac kids. Price and Doherty, Bell in the Indian years. This who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, your host DeeTrynt, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, DeeTrynt, InDaStreetzSportz, Game Changer Sports Talk. Man, what's really good? All right. Cleveland sports looking real good right now. All right. I mean, the Browns, even though the Browns 4-3, they're being decimated by injuries. Last year they was decimated on injuries by the defensive end, and the offense carried them. This year, even though the defense has done quite a few questionable things, they are, looking a lot more fierce than they did last year, looking a lot more like a threat than last year. So, it's about 10 games left in the season. The Browns could realistically run off 10 wins, but we'll get in that in a second, all right, because the surprise team is the Cavs. And I mean, are they really a surprise? I mean, a lot of us Cavs fans, people watching, looked at things and said, okay, Saxton could potentially do the same thing he did last year or even better. Garland's definitely is going to do better, excel. We didn't know what Okoro could or might do or might not do. Mobley looked, predicted to be prime superstar build-around piece. Adding Rubio and bringing in Ed Davis and still having Kevin Love will give us some nice veteran leadership. Trading Lance for Lauri Markkanen was supposed to help us stretch the floor. There was a lot of debate whether they should start 7-footers or not start all 3 7-footers. And I mean, I initially was opposed to it. I mean, I wasn't so gung-ho like it was stupid, but I was definitely, Markkanen at the 3 versus Mobley, but Mobley a better interior defender, But here we are, 5 games into the NBA season. The Cleveland Cavaliers sit at 3-2. 3 wins against 3 playoff teams, the Hawks, the Nuggets, and the Clippers. And these are legitimately convincing wins. Like, they didn't just squeak by these teams. They didn't just so happen to catch them slipping. They literally played possession for possession with these playoff teams and came out victorious. Now, this is still early in the season. Teams make adjustments. It's very hard to game plan against 3 7-footers in your lineup. And playing Lauri Markkanen at the 3, it's been a help for the Cavs because he stretches the floor. Now, he hasn't been an absolute marksman, but he does stretch the floor. And at 7 foot, it is very hard to block his shot. Evan Mobley looks amazing. He hasn't really took over the game yet, but Evan looks really good, yo. His defense doesn't miss a beat, okay? His defensive game is fire, okay? He's contesting shots at the rim, long-range shots, switching off on a pick and roll with him and, an offensive guard or a decent ball handler, somebody who can create off the dribble, thinks they're just going to take Evan Mobley. He's shutting all that down. Jared Allen is playing like a guy who got signed for $100 million. He's really playing that way. Ricky Rubio has arguably been the MVP in 5 games. His IQ, his push the tempo, his leadership with being able to, communicate with the other guys and help them get themselves in better position to be impactful in the game. It's been a real help for our young guys. Kevin Love looked like he's trying to increase his trade value. Actually, Kevin Love acting like he don't really want to be traded at all. It shit might sound crazy to y'all, but I mean, think about it in Kevin's position. He could be an impactful player on a possible playoff team. It's very early to say whether the Cavs can or cannot, will or will not make the playoffs. It is very early in the season to see how, too early to judge or predict how, Saxon or Garland will elevate this year. What Okoro will do, will Windler be healthy enough? He's been out the first couple games and stuff like that. But I'm not really concerned. Because we have so many guys to use and see, Windler not playing doesn't really bother me. He will play. As long as he's healthy, he'll play a lot of minutes. And I think even if, he just has like a regular, just a nice, decent season, he's still going to get re-signed by the Cavs. He may do like a 1-and-1, where they do it to see if, the next year, like he real good, and then if you got to resign him, you got his bird rights and stuff, so you can give him a nice deal. But seeing how these other guys play, Chetty's been hitting his shots. Chetty's playing with confidence. So Saxton. Now let's talk about Young Bull. Young Bull did not get his extension. At first, I was mad that Young Bull didn't get his extension. But now I understand why Young Bull didn't get his extension. For one, we can't legitimately put a price tag on Collins' worth. We can all agree that he deserves at least $20 million a year. I think we all can agree that he deserves at least $20 million a year. The question is, though, is it more 25 million or is it more like 30 plus million? I think Colin would have been content with 27 million, but I don't think the Cavs was willing to pay that ticket. And I can't really be mad at him because I need to see, how he impacts winning. It's no mystery that the Cavs want to keep Sexton, and there's a good chance most likely he will stay. But I need to see how he impacts winning. Now, speaking on how he impacts winning, if Colin plays every night the way he played against the Clippers in this last win, that's a $30 million a night guy. That's a $30 million a year guy. Showing much tenacity on the defensive end, taking advantage of his one-on-ones, being a scoring punch for the Cavs. He was playing off ball very well, offense and defense. A lot of hustle, a lot of heart. I've said on numerous occasions that the team is built around Colin. His personality, he leads the charge. I like to want to say he alone has really gotten the soft label off of a Cavaliers team. Because even before LeBron came and sometime while LeBron was here, the Cavs were considered like a soft team. Somebody you could bully. Young Bull, Colin Sexton, man, he eliminates all that. There's no bullying him. There's no bitch in him, as we say. He has no sucker in his heart. He will fuck you up. Colin will give you this work. All right. What I would like to see though from Colin is him get more jump shots off the ball. To me, he doesn't have enough faith in his jump shot. And him coming off screens, doing the catch and shoot thing, will open up the rest of his game so much. Okay. And that'll put a whole new dimension on it. But I like Young Bull, man. What I am concerned about is Darius Garland. He is way too scared to shoot the ball. And I just feel like he doesn't take enough shooting opportunities. Now, his passing, his vision, his handle, I like it a lot. But if he gets an open three, he needs to take it. Especially when Mobley and Allen are in the paint or close to the hoop, he needs to take that three. He has arguably one of the greenest lights in the NBA, and he's only taking like 8 shots a game, maybe 12 some games. I'm not feeling it. Now, the Cavs, though, look, as a 3-2 team, all right, you got Jarrett Allen averaging 14 and 9. Evan Mobley averaging 14 and 9. Kevin Love's averaging 10 and 7 off the bench. Lauri Markkanen's averaging 10 and 7. Ricky Rubio's averaging 14 and 8 assists. Saxon is averaging 20. Garland is averaging 12 and 8 assists. So, the main rotational 7 is really impacting the game. They're impacting the game so much that whatever a Chetty Osman, a Lamar Stevens, Isaac Okoro didn't play the last couple of games. We'll see if he'll be back against the Lakers. But it's like whatever those guys give you is extra. Because, your top 7 in rotation is really giving you quality play. And that goes to, before I end off the Cavs segment, shout out to Coach J.B. Bickerstaff, who right now at the 5 games, in my opinion, is one of the top 2 candidates for Coach of the Year. Starting 3 7-footers is not something everybody – now, a lot of people asked if it was happening, and I was the one questioning them, like, why would they do that? But after seeing it, he did it once in the preseason, and after you synced it, you see the problems it creates. Lauri Markkanen isn't the best defender, but he could stay with you, and he's still 7 feet. So by the time you get to the hole, you still got to try to out one of the other 2 7-footers, or try to get it and kick it out past one of the other 2 7-footers. And you still got 2 guards, on a perimeter who can help, whether that's, Garland and Sexton or Rubio and Okoro. You know what I mean? Like, whatever combination, like, it's a problem. So shout out to J.B. Bickerstaff for, having the gumption to even run that lineup. The way he's utilizing the lineups overall, the player pairing, going at the end of the game with guys who are hot and are contributing, trying to win games. They did that in the first 2 losses. It didn't just come together, and I thought in those 2 losses, Sexton and Garland wasn't aggressive. They weren't aggressive enough. In the last 3 games that they've won, Sexton and Garland have been aggressive when it comes to their shot. They're putting pressure on the defense. If they're going to be considered any type of liability on the defensive end, they have to be that much more of a force on the offensive end. And them putting in points, getting everybody easy shots helps a lot. Sexton's assists will go up a lot this year. Even though he's only had 2 assists a game this year, I think he should be at 5 or 6, but guys are just not hitting shots. For some reason, when Sexton passing the ball, they're not hitting the damn shot. I don't understand that. But I don't see that continuing. I believe these guys are going to hit shots. They probably just not used to it. But this Cavalier team is going to make some noise. We're going to see what happens with the next 15 games. See when they get to 20 games, are they, flirting with 500? Are they above 500, or how much below 500 they are? And, what contributed them to them being in that spot. But in a very tough division, with the reigning champ Milwaukee Bucks leading the division, the much improved Chicago Bulls giving people problems in this division. Detroit, with Cade and Killian and Jeremy Grant, they're, Sadiq Bey, Stewart, they're going to make noise. In Indiana, Sabonis, Miles, Turner, Brogdon, LeVert, these guys are going to make noise. So if the Cavs can at least contend in their division, the Cavs can contend with anybody in the league. And that, is something that is very relatable to the Browns. I mean, because, as we transition over to these Cleveland Browns, the AFC North, if you win the AFC North, you pretty much got a chance to win a Super Bowl, bottom line. AFC North, even when the Browns are terrible, is still one of the toughest divisions in the league. And right now, the Browns are, one of the top teams. If we're doing power rankings on a division, sadly, I would have to put Cleveland at 3. We not even gonna go to power rankings through the whole conference or even the whole league. Just in the division right now, Cleveland is 3 in the power rankings, with Cincinnati definitely as the number 1 team in the division, and Baltimore being the number 2 team in the division. But I think, me personally, I think those 2 teams lead the division right now because, it's the coaching. I think it's the coaching. I could be wrong, but I think the coaching, the utilization of the personnel on offense, defense, and special teams is what's setting the Browns apart, or I should say the Bengals and Ravens apart from the Browns and Steelers. This upcoming Sunday, the Browns kick off divisional play. They will play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Browns have won the last 2 matchups against Pittsburgh. All right. It's been a long time since we said that. And the last time they played Pittsburgh, they humiliated them. All right. But the Browns are coming in banged up, as I was saying before. Baker Mayfield has rested for about 15, 16 days. Yeah. Because they played Sunday, they had like 4 days, and then they had 7, 9 more days. So he done rested about 2 weeks. Okay, about 14 days. But they say he looked good. Nick Chubb is now in the lineup. It looks like OBJ and Jarvis Landry will be in the lineup. Kareem Hunt still on the IR. Denzel Ward, I believe Red will not play in this game. But even without Denzel, Kareem, and Jeremiah Wusu-Karamoa, who's also out, this Browns team should still beat the Steelers. Now, how can they do that? At this point in the season, Coach Stefanski and his coaching staff for the Cleveland Browns have no reason to be holding back. All right? You made it through the first 7 games. In all fairness, the Browns should be undefeated. The 3 losses that the Browns have, with the exception of Arizona, Arizona kicked their ass. But that was still on the Browns' fault too. You know what I'm saying? It's not like teams are going there and just manhandling the Browns. The Browns are really shooting themselves in the foot. They're causing their own demise and creating their own dilemmas in the football game. And what this boils down to is complementary football. Um, you know, the offense isn't complementing the defense. The defense isn't complementing the offense, and the special teams is not complementing either one. So this is where I go back where I say it's a coaching thing. Uh, again, I'll reiterate, man, I'm not calling for nobody jobs or nothing like that. Okay, I'm not trying to put nobody on a. This ain't one of them moments. Okay, but you have to put your players in a position to make plays. You don't know what a player can really do for you until you allow them to do it for you. So, I just think, man, they got to open up the playbook, man. It's a lot of formations and stuff they ain't using, they need to use. I need to see a lot more matchup football, all right? I need to see OBJ motion from the backfield or motion to the backfield, okay? I need to see David Njoku and Austin Hooper with more than 5 or 6 collective targets in a game, all right? If we going to throw the ball, we got to be precise and quick. Baker is one bad hit away from ending his season. One bad hit. You know for a fact the Steelers are going to be coming to headhunt him. They ain't going to be coming to try to end his career because that's just not what the game about, not with this era of players. But they are going to be coming to make him useless and not able to be beneficial to the Browns. So the game plan has to feature a lot of quick hitters, bro. I mean, I would assume what we see last week, when the last Thursday, and not just past Thursday, but the Thursday before that, when the Browns played the Denver. Case Keenum did a lot of screens, a lot of wide receiver screens, tight end screens, quick passes. And I think you should see more of that. Me personally, I thought that should have been a Browns offense anyway. All right? When we not running it, we throwing nice little screens. You feel me? Even off the play action, we throwing screens because the idea is to keep the defense towards the line of scrimmage. The Browns should want them to throw 8 or 9 in the box. I need you to do that. You know why I need you to throw 8 or 9 in the box, 7, 8 in the box, or whatever the case? Because I need one-on-one. I need to be able to call a max protect and know that Jarvis and Odell are one-on-one and ain't nobody going to stop them. All right? I need to see, Baker more evolve at the line. To me, the difference between Baker being a $35 to $38 million a year quarterback versus being a $45 million a year quarterback is his pre-snap recognition. Baker's ability to read the blitz and read defensive coverage is very poor for a number 1 overall pick. Now, I'll say this again. For a number 1 overall pick, in my opinion, when you were number 1, the one thing you should be able to do, as well as anybody in your draft, is read defensive coverages. To be able to see blitzes coming off the line, be able to point out and make adjustments. I don't see this a lot from Baker. Baker I got the play call, this is what we're running. All right, we're going to run that. And in my opinion, man, when you get in franchise quarterback money, you should be able to call plays on your own. Like, there should be a series of 2 or 3 in each game where the coach don't call the plays. You do. That's my opinion. That's a franchise quarterback. All right, on shit like, hey, the defense just got a unexpected turnover. You know, my game planning sheet didn't account for this. I need you to go score the ball off this turnover. Oh, the special teams just got us in good field position. I didn't game plan for this scenario against this team. I need my quarterback to go out there and get us in the end zone. This is what a franchise quarterback should be able to do. You know, and I will highlight too, Baker was not a draft pick of this regime. Neither was Nick Chubb. All right? You knew Nick Chubb was going to get his money. All right? Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham were not acquisitions of this regime. I need people to keep that in mind. All right? So, and I emphasize that because, you know, if we get to the end of the year, you know, and you know, almighty forbid that this is what it is, okay? But we get to the end of the year, Denzel can't control his injury history. Baker is not showing elevation or belief in. Odell is not, you know, bro, the Browns could move all three of them. I'm just going to be very honest with you. And I'm speaking in the offseason. If we go through the season, all right, and we don't make it to the Super Bowl, you know, we get out, you know, and, you know, Lord forbid, you know, almighty forbid. And these guys underwhelm, all three of these guys could get moved. Because moving all three of these guys would allow the Browns to bring back Jadeveon, all right, retain Jarvis, and acquire a whole bunch of things. The Browns still got their own draft picks and could very well get extra draft picks from moving those guys. Do I think that's happening? No. You know, do I think it's possible? Yes. Do I think it's likely 2 out of 3 or 1 out of 3 get moved? I think it's possible. Is it likely? Nah. Is it likely all 3 guys get retained? It's likely and possible, but I wouldn't put a definite on it. But if the Browns go to the Super Bowl, all 3 of those guys is being retained. And I just emphasize Ward, Baker, and Odell because those 3 particular guys change the outcome of the game. Any game. If Ward is hot, Baker hot, and Odell hot, you're not beating the Browns. You're not. No team in the NFL currently can even remotely think they could touch the Browns if Odell, Baker, and Denzel are playing at a high level. All right? But in this game against Pittsburgh, we're going to get to see Denzel. We're going to get to see Greedy Williams and Greg Newsome start with each other. We're going to get to see, Greedy Greg with Dale Pitt, Ronnie Harrison, and John Johnson quite a bit. We're going to get. I think this might be a week Jacob Phillips come back as well. We haven't seen him all year, so I don't know, but I'm speculating. I think we might see him. But Anthony Walker gets to get good playing time. All right, Ty McKinley gonna get good time. So, the Pittsburgh Steelers coming in though in like a 3-game winning streak though. They definitely was looking real suspect and ass, and now they didn't kind of found a little mojo. Mike Tomlin is a hell of a coach. And probably the biggest, if not the sole reason I even give, well, not the sole reason, because I respect the Rooney ownership and how they move and their impact as owners on the positive changes happening in the NFL. So I can't say the soul, but them two, the Rooney ownership and Mike Tomlin, the only reason I even give Pittsburgh respect. I don't fuck with Pittsburgh, but they will come to play. Being with this possibly being his last season in the NFL, he's going to be looking to try to may have a statement game against the Browns. I really want the Browns to come out and be aggressive. Go after Ben. They're going to go after Baker, so go after Ben. All right? They're going to try to use their receivers. You got Chase down there going to try to do some things, you know. Johnson going to try to do some things. Washington going to try to do some things. Ebron going to try to do some things. Najee Harris going to try to get off. But the Browns got a defense that's well more equipped to really handle that. So I really shouldn't see this being a problem. My prediction on the score of the game, I actually think Baker lights it up. Pittsburgh secondary is extremely suspect, bro. And Baker should be playing with anger, with a fire, like a whole different type of fire than we didn't ever see Baker play with. He should be playing with this game. Playing against being middle of the season, all right, first division game of the season for the Browns. If the Browns lose, they go to 4-4, and Pittsburgh goes to 4-3. But then the Browns become the bottom team in the league in the division. If the Browns win, they go to 5-3, and they arguably go to number 2 in the division. With a date with the Bengals coming up next week to be able to take the division. So, you know, I think Baker gonna come out and play with a fire. I think this might be the week that you see Baker and Odell go ham diggity dog down. Okay? Ham diggity dog down. All right. Chubb is back playing. DeErnest Johnson will play that second role, which means Demetric Felton will probably get a lot more touches. Donovan Peoples-Jones was a little hampered, but I think he should play. You know, look, my prediction, 31-21 Browns. I got 31-21 Browns. All right. Defensive score going to help. Baker going to do his thing. The running game going to do what they do. And the Browns going to look good this week. Heading into, the week against the Bengals. So, I am DeeTrynt. This has been Game Changer Sport Talk on InDaStreetzSportz, man. We gonna get up with y'all in a second. Like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Let us know what you think, man. It's been a pleasure.